everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the workbench, and most importantly, Happy New Year. It is 2024, 2023 went by like that. Can't believe it, guys, can't believe it. But it was a good year last year, and this year is going to be even better. I have a feeling. That's my goal. You know, I'm not going to do the whole new year, new me, no. New year, more memories, a lot more remember whens, and a lot less what ifs. That's the goal right there. So with that said, guys, hope you all had a safe New Year's, and I wish you the best in 2024 because everyone's going to make it a better year, right? What are we talking about today? Well, you've seen it. This is the truck emergency bag. Why do I not call it a get home bag? Well, it's more than just a get home. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the get home bags. I like it. That's a great theory. Depending on where you live, how you live your lifestyle, if you're in the city, if you're in the mountains, if you're in the desert, if you live in the Midwest, your get home bag will always be different, right? And sometimes people throw a bunch of stuff in a bag. It weighs 50 pounds. It's sitting in the back of their vehicle, and they don't always use the stuff, or the stuff just sits there and that's it. You build a bag that weighs 30, 40, 50 pounds, and it's stuff that you don't ever use, or if you do have to use it, it's going to be heavy. And are you going to want to carry that bag long distances? Just think of that, So, again, I'm all for the get home bags. I just like to call my emergency bag, my emergency truck bag, because I like to put stuff in here that I can use at any time. When I go on road trips, I have stuff, if I break down, can I last a night, 2-3 nights? If I break down in the mountains, if it's snowing out, if it's hot out, like just different things you got to think of. And plus, in my truck, I have other gear. So I'm not solely relying on the stuff that I carry in this bag. This is just stuff that I might not use on a daily basis, but once a month, twice a month, something like that. Maybe once a year there might be something in here I use just one time. But what I do like to do is, at least at the beginning of the year, grab the bag, go through it, find gear in there that I can take out, find gear I can replace with something newer, better, or if there's something in there that I just realize, like, hey, you know what, I've had it for, I built this bag back in 2016, I think, 2015, 2016, something like that. I built this bag, so this bag has been in multiple vehicles, and over the years I've changed out many things, added stuff to it, took stuff out and whatnot. So today we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go through, see what I have in here, make sure everything is stocked up, and go from there. So let's jump into it. First things first, what bag do I carry? That is a great question. This is the Maxpedition, hold on one second, I'll tell you exactly what one it is. So this is the Maxpedition under the Legacy series. This here is the Duffel Adventure Bag 57 liter. Right now, at the time filming of this video, there's a buy one get one off, or buy one get one free sale. So it's $263. So the buy one get one free, if you get two of them, you're looking at like it's $131 a piece. And they have tan or black, and I have both bags. I use them for different things. And let me tell you guys, I freaking love these Maxpedition bags. Yes, they are expensive. You can go out and buy a much cheaper bag and do the exact same thing with, and be just as happy. So yeah, the reason I like these bags, one, they use like YKK zippers, real nice, big, heavy zippers. This bag has lasted. The other Maxpedition stuff that I have, I've been able to. I use one for traveling with my clothes and stuff. So same bag, throw my clothes in it. I throw it in the bed of my truck. If it's misting out or something like that, I don't really worry about it too much. They're pretty water resistant, not waterproof, but they're pretty water resistant. If you're familiar with Maxpedition, they have a great line of stuff. Not sponsored by them, no affiliation with them. They don't know I exist. I'm just a happy customer with their product, and maybe one of these days here I'll pull out a bunch of the bags that I use and show you guys what I use and different things. I use one for camera gear, one for, I don't know, different things. But anyway, so like I said, this is the 57 liter Maxpedition Duffler bag. I think I said that right. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's start with the stuff on the outside of the bag first, right? So first things first, I got a carabiner on the front little eye loop up here. I have one of these. We've all seen these. You've seen people use these online to break windows, break glass, cut seat belts. I keep this one on the outside. I also have another one that's in the truck that's easier access if I'm driving. This one here is just, you know, extra, I guess, or if there's an accident or something, if I jump out. This bag here actually sits right by where I have first aid kit bag. I'll show you guys that stuff in another video. I'll kind of go through my truck and some other gear that I have in the truck, but this one here is by one of my little first aid things, so if I need to grab it, or if I grab my bag and I'm out on the run somewhere and surviving and I need to break into a car to get something out of it, I can get into a vehicle. Please use this legally. All this stuff here, I will also try to post a link in the description that is affiliated link through Amazon, so if you guys want any of this stuff, you can click on the link below. That helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. Next up on the outside of the pack, I got the Baofang UV-5R radio. I actually carry two of these in my vehicle, so I carry one on the bag. Let's see here real quick. Panel mode. And this is still charged, so I actually used this one a handful of times throughout the year, and it still has one, two, it looks like three bars left on the battery. So pretty good battery on these things, guys. If you guys know what these are, they're awesome, cheap little radios. You can use it as a two-way radio. That's why I carry two. So let's say you're on a road trip with some people, even if it's just one other person. Instead of calling them constantly, or like me, I like to listen to Spotify and I use my phone, play it through the radio. Now I don't have to like go through and, you know, pause my music, whatever, make phone calls and all that. I could just grab my radio. If someone in front or behind has a radio, just be like, hey, stopping up here at the bathroom, or stopping to grab a bite to eat. 10-4, no problem, cool, and we move on. I also have a CB radio in my truck, but not everybody has a CB radio, so these things are great, you know. But to operate this as a ham radio person, you're supposed to have a license. Unless it's a life-threatening emergency, then you can radio for help. Also, another good thing with these you can do is, if you're traveling, you can pre-program these for where you're going in the different areas, or have a sheet printed up of the different towns that you're going to, and or counties I should say, and then you can scan police, fire, and all that. Make sure it's legal. I don't know if it's legal in all states. All I know is it's kind of interesting to listen to some of the stuff and some of the calls when you're driving and whatnot in different areas, so that's always good. And plus, if you don't have phone service, it's another good way to get a hold of somebody, again, if there's an emergency. So that's that. And I keep that right on the outside of the bag. It just clips in, you know, antenna goes through the McNally, and works pretty good. So, alright. This bag here has a pouch on the outside up here, in the front, and in the back. So let's start with the top. First things first, I have a few of these throughout the truck. Just the rat's tourniquets. Yes, I know people say the cat's tourniquet is better, but in an emergency situation, are you going to complain if it's a rat versus cat? If this helps save a life, you know, it's one of them things, you know. But you guys do make sure that you get the right one. So this one here is the Made in USA one. You know, make sure you get something that, you know, is the right gear. There's certain things you can get cheaper versions of, and there's some things it's worth spending a couple extra bucks on. I've seen the cheap ones, the Amazon ones, where either A, the metal clip just bends, or B, the strap itself, it doesn't have any elasticness to it, so when you go to pull it, it just stays stretched out, or they can snap. But anyway, so this is just something, like I said, carry multiple in the truck. It's worth having a couple of these. And I keep it right on top, this way Let's say I use the one in my emergency bag, I use the other one that I carry in my truck. Both of them are used up. I can easily get to this one without having to dig through the whole bag. Next up, I have a nice solid fixed blade. This one here is the what is it? Utica cutlery. Model is UTK-S4, and it's made in the USA. This knife is awesome. Comes with a sheath, a nice Kydex sheath. Locks in there very well. You don't have to worry about it falling out. It did have a ferrule rod on the outside. I did cut it off because it was just a cheap one, and I wear cargo pants, so like if I'm doing something, I'll just slide this in my back pocket, or I put the lanyard on here so I can like at least latch it to me or something like that if I had to. It does come with a cheap knife sharpener. You know, in an emergency, will it help out? Yeah, you know. Is that the knife sharpener I'm going to use? No, that's not the one I would use for this. You know, actually, I'll probably tune this up before I put it back in my truck. But this knife here is great, guys. I've used it for batoning. I've used it for starting fires, just to make sure that it's something that's actually, you know, gonna work. But a great knife. Really like it. All right, next up, we have a valve stem tool. Why do you need one of these? It's a good question. Why do you need one of these? Actually, I don't know if this is the one that was in my tool bag and it just ended up in here at one point in time. But normally what I do is I will keep one of these in the vehicle just because, you know what, it's this is one of them things where, as silly as it is, I've used it. Word on the street is, and I do not know if this is true or not, only use this for legal reasons. What I'm about to tell you is, again, hearsay. If you slash somebody's tires, that is considered vandalism. If you just loosen up the valve stem and all the air comes out, again, I don't know anything. I'm just saying what a little birdie had once told me. So, you know, take that as a story from a birdie and do not do anything illegal. It's nice to have one of these sometimes. Next up, we have a Sillcock key. Now this was one of them things that I seen a lot of people like to have in their bug out bags. It actually comes in handy more than just, you know, you're running from a zombie and you're out of fresh water and you're in downtown Chicago and you need to get some water off of a building. You can use this for other things too. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to any big city, on the outside of the building, most of the time somewhere, whether it's in the front or on the side or the back or maybe multiple spots, they'll have like a little metal door. You pull the door open and there'll be a water spigot, but there's no handle to turn the water on. Well, you can use one of these to turn the water on. I know firefighters carry something similar sometimes, where they can turn water on buildings. So this is just something kind of nice to have. I know some homes have spigots, but they have where they can take their nozzle off. I know our old home had that, and actually this little size here would fit that one. So, you know, if you go up to a house and you need to use the water on that house or something, you can, in theory, turn the water on to get city water from their house. So, just something. What else we got in here? Next up, just some carabiners, a little bit more heavy duty carabiners. I mean, I carry like this little guy up here. These ones here are just a little bit more heavy duty. So if I need to put something on one of the bags or something, on the molly or something, I can strap something to it or whatever. But just nice to carry some extra ones, that's all. And last up here, I carry a Skeletool. This here, I go back and forth on keeping this in there. I like the Skeletool, but on my daily carry, my EDC, I do carry a Leatherman Wave. So I always do have at least one, pliers, multi-tool on me at all times. This one here, again, in my truck I have tools, so I have all this stuff. It's just, I guess, just backup. I mean, I had it. I bought this one. I had it sitting around, so I was like, you know what? Why not put it in the truck bag, the emergency bag, so if something were ever happen, at least I have a backup one. And I think that's it for in here. So again, just because you guys get a bag doesn't mean you have to pack it to the gills either. So remember that. Alright, so that was the top one. That one I kind of like to keep the tools and whatnot up in there, you know, things that I can get to easier. We're going to no, we'll just go with this one here. We'll start with the front one. First thing first, in the front pouch. So in this bag, by the way, you have this front pouch, and then you have these two little admin pockets that are mesh, which are nice to kind of keep things separated. So first thing first, actually I just refilled this not too long ago. Just a little hand sanitizer bottle. It's nice to have some hand sanitizer with you at all times, whether you're out working on something, you want to clean your hands, or, you know, for whatever reason. Actually, something that's also really good with hand sanitizer that some people know, some people don't. 70%. I only use 70% or more alcohol, and that is because, one, it's just better for cleaning your hands and stuff, or if you want to clean your knife or something before you use it, or what your utensils or something like that, and for eating with. But you can start fires. So like if you're gonna start up a fire or something, and you got some wet tinder or damp tinder or something, you just take this, kind of sprinkle it over something, and then you can light it up easier. So it's a good accelerant for starting a fire if you need to stay warm somewhere, if you're having a bonfire. I mean, I use this stuff all the time for, I actually use this more for starting fires, like bonfires and whatnot, than I do for anything else. So just make sure if you do get these, you get it where it's ethanol alcohol at least 70% or more. Any of the other stuff might not burn as well, and I like unscented. I don't like any of that scented stuff for that reason. Then I just keep some Burt's Bees beeswax balm. This stuff is good for obviously your lips. If you're outside working in the sun, if you're outside in the cold and it's windy, keep them lips moist. You don't want dry lips. Remember that. Also, I won't use it for this one because I put this one on my mouth, but if you do take some chapstick or something, it is a good lubricant for zippers. Also for if you have a flashlight or anything like that that has like an O-ring on it, it is nice to take this stuff and keep that stuff lubricate, or use it as a lubricant, which I'll show you guys that stuff maybe in another video too, where how to take care of some stuff like your EDC gear. But anyways, just some Burt's Bees. I think I have some Carmex in my truck too. So what else? Not a whole lot in here. Actually, my flashlight that I carry in here I just took out because I realized it was dead the other day. Next we have a box of Freedom Seeds. This is the Hornady Critical Duty. If you CCW, it's nice to have at least a little bit of extra Freedom Seeds with you. So I just throw a box in there. So this way I have them. Again, if you break down somewhere, whether you're not so much in the city, I mean maybe in the city of Chicago, but if you're in the woods, if you're in the desert, if you're spending a night somewhere like that, it's always nice to have extra Freedom Seeds with you, just in case you need to find something to eat. With the Freedom Seeds, I like to carry a couple mags that are preloaded with my Freedom seeds. This one here is for a Glock, which is one of the ones I carry. But also the reason, even if you don't carry a Glock, guys and gals, it's good to have at least one Glock mag that at least fits a Glock 19, because the odds of somebody else having a Glock firearm are pretty high. So if you need one, at least you'll have one, right? Zombies are chasing you down the road. You see somebody who's already been eaten, but there's a firearm sitting on them. The odds of them carrying a Glock are pretty high. So that's just something to keep in mind, you know. Again, one of the other ones I carry is a Springfield XCS9. So I also carry a spare mag and Freedom seed loaded. And last but not least, we have the big American Eagle Freedom seed holder. No, I do not own one, and I do not carry one in my vehicle. But if you're being chased by zombies and you're carrying your get home emergency bag, and somebody's already been eaten by that zombie, and there lies a Freedom seed spitter right there on the ground, you can pick it up and you're ready to rock and roll. But anyway, so that was that. Let's go to the back pouch real quick. Alright, and then the back pouch, I like to keep just a paper map. This here is the official highway map, 2019-2020 of Illinois. But, you know, some of you youngins might not know exactly what these are. These are what we used before we used our smartphones and Google and Onyx and all the other apps that we use nowadays. But, you know, it never beats having at least a road map of where you live. And then what I'll do is I also carry some for the surrounding states. So like if I'm gonna go on a road trip somewhere, I will throw an extra one of these in instead of carrying like, you know, 6 different maps in my truck all the time. I just carry the one, and then if I'm going somewhere, I'll grab like Wisconsin, Missouri, Tennessee, Indiana, all the states that I travel to the most. I'll then throw one in the truck just to have it. Next up in here, beef jerky. This is just great to have sitting around in there because it will never go bad. It can get hot, it can get cold, as long as it is airtight, which you can see these here are vacuum sealed real well. That's why I like these ones here. These here were August of 2018. That's when the best buy date was. Again, this stuff's not going to go bad, guys. It's you can throw it in your bag, you can throw it in your vehicle, and forget it even exists. And if you're ever doing something, I think I had 6 of these at one time. So I do eat them once in a while. If I'm doing something and I'm hungry, you know, that's a good thing to have. It gives you some energy and some protein, and you're good. So that's the back pouch. Alright, now let's head into the main pouch here. So with this bag, you have 2 pouches up on the top, which is nice. So we'll start with this one over here first. So this here is my little snacks and stuff. I like to toss in some Cliff Bars, you know, chocolate chip, best ones they make. I'll carry some Belvita bites, just something to snack on or something. Again, you know. And then these here are some things that I always like to have in my truck, which is cough drops, and then like these hard, you know, grandma and grandpa candies here. You know, growing up, you know, we all know what these were. But it's just something nice, you know. Again, this is, you can use them any time of the year. You know, you just go in there and grab them. These here, same thing. If you're going on a hike or something, or if you're going to stop and walk off the side of the road or whatever, it's not going to give you all the energy in the world, but it just gives you something, you know, keep you going, I guess. And it just, yeah. But, like I said, just nice to have some snacks that are easy to get to. And this side over here, you know, Sharpie, a pen. Then I have one of these little dry bag here, which these things are pretty nice too. The Velcro's closed, rolls open, keep things dry. So even if you're putting stuff in here that doesn't have a chance of getting wet, you know, it's nice to keep like a couple of these bags or a bag or two like this floating around. Let's just say you're gonna go do something, and you know, you want to go. What did I use this for that one time? Lazy river. You know, you go jump on a lazy river. Well, you got your cell phone, you got a cigar, you got a lighter, you got stuff you don't want to get wet. Toss them in here. You know, you're going out on a boat or something like that. You want to put your phone and your wallet and stuff in a dry bag. It's the perfect size, you know. So, like I said, link for a bunch of stuff for Amazon will be down below. In that bag, along with the maps, I'll just keep a compass. This one here is just a cheap one. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive. Let's just see here. It knows where north is, so it'd do. Yes, you can get a much nicer, much fancier one, something that's way more reliable. But the odds of me using this probably are very slim. In an emergency, will get me a basic direction of where I'm going. Yes. Next up, this is actually pretty important thing to have. I've debated on putting it up here with my emergency thing, my rat's tourniquet, I mean. I do have a couple of these, but I ended up putting it in here so it stays dry. It is fairly simple to get to if I do have to get it. But this here is the First Aid and Survival by MyMedic. It's just a small little book. I mean, real thin, real small, size of a wallet. And it has some very basic things to do, you know, CPR information, quick clot, water, compass, frostbite, what else? Shelter building, heat and sunstroke, sprains. So I mean, you get the idea. These things are awesome, guys. I mean, they're just really handy little things to keep. So definitely would recommend at least getting one of these and putting in your vehicle, if not maybe a couple of them, because you never know when you're going to need the stuff. And your phone, you can't always rely on your phone. If you're out somewhere where you don't have service, unless you think ahead and you save all kinds of stuff on your phone, then yeah, you can pull up stuff off your phone. But if you don't, it's definitely nice to have something like that to fall back on. And to go with the pen and marker in there, I have a Rite and a rain pad, and then just a normal notebook pad. Just because I had them sitting around, so I figure, you know what, that's one of them things. Doesn't hurt to have them in case you need them. I also carry other notepads and stuff in my truck too. So, like I said, this stuff isn't all just to get home. Some of this stuff is just to use if you need it for whatever, you know. Again, going out on a boat or something like that, this little dry bag is great to have, and it's something that most people don't think about. just folds over and Velcro sealed. So that's up in the second pouch, and these pouches up here, guys, are fairly big, so you can fit a lot. Oh, sorry, you can't see. These pouches are fairly big, so you can fit quite a bit of stuff in them if you really want it. Alright, now the main compartment. With these bags, guys, they're real nice because it's one big compartment, or it has these zipper pouch or these zipper flaps that you just zip the two sides up, and then you can have either one small compartment, one big compartment, or you can have two smaller compartments, one bigger one in the middle. So it's pretty versatile. You can do it different ways, and they just unzip, and instead of like some bags where they just Velcro things in there, and if you take them out and you just set them off to the side, you're gonna lose them. These unzip and they just fold flat, and you'll never lose them. So something cool about these Maxpedition bags. Anyways, again, we have another dry bag, but the item I have in here, I put in here last year. I have not used it yet, but it's one of the things where I figured it would be better to have this in my emergency bag than sitting around somewhere else. So if I'm gonna go camping or something, at least I'll have it. We all carry, or most of us probably have a, you know, them little portable batteries, charger batteries and stuff. Well, why not have, this here is the Goal Zero Nomad 20 solar panel. I mean, I have used this before just to test it out, see how it worked, make sure it worked. I did charge my phone off of it once, and I have used it for charging one of my battery bank, you know, the battery banks or whatever. But these are nice because built in to your charger, you have different things that you can charge off of. So you have your USB. Oh, it says right here. You have your USB output, your solar port for power. You have your solar port for charging, and your mini solar port. So it also comes with, some people may or may not know what these are nowadays, but these are for your cigarette lighters. If your cords don't have a USB on them, and it's the old school ones where you have to plug it in, you can plug it in and charge it. Comes with some little carabiners, mini carabiners, which are probably pretty good for keychains. The one thing I do have, I just have to get, and I'll put it in here, is I have one of them USB cables that it's like one USB, and then it has like a USB-C, an iPhone charger. It's got like the 3 different USB all coming out to one end. Is it the best thing? No, but to throw it in here, something is better than nothing type thing. And then the other thing with them carabiners, you can use to hook onto the eyelets that it has. It's got, you know, one on each end here, one on each end here, and when you open it all up, you can hang it. You can hang it off to the middle here. It's got a little thing. So many different ways you can hang this up, or you can just lay it like in the back of on a vehicle or something if you're going out walking around, you want to charge something. So, and I just keep it in this here little dry bag, which fits in there pretty nice. Goal Zero is a pretty good brand, guys. You can look up the reviews on their stuff. They got some pretty nice stuff. So that's that. Next up, so here, this is a perfect example of something that I want to change out. These are the Oakley, you know, the padded hand. These are, why do I keep doing that? Like, I'm showing you down here, like you can see down. You're up here. Eyes are up here, not down here. One more time. Alright guys, so this here is what I was talking about once before. I want to replace some stuff that's in there that I just want to upgrade or whatever. These here are, don't get me wrong, these are real nice gloves. These are the Oakley padded gloves. I've had these gloves before. I've used them. It's kind of got like a little bit of a leatherish padded palm here. But these here have the Velcro things on them. And we all know what happens is, you just don't use the Velcro on these things for the most part, For tactical reasons, yeah, these are great for that. But that was one of the items that I wanted to replace. And I'm going to use or put in a brand new pair of, these here are the Durahide Fast Fit mechanic wear. I love these gloves. I've found these gloves when they first came out, I think. It was a few years ago. And once I found these guys, that was it. I stopped buying all the other gloves. The only other pair of gloves that I will get now are these ones here, these mechanics wear, again. And you can buy off-brand. You don't have to buy the actual mechanics wear, but these are just the ones with the little rubber on the, stretchy gloves. Just works good for when I'm working with boxes and stuff all the time. But these here are great for if you're doing work outside in the yard, if you're, getting a fire going and you want, something that's hot or whatever, you can, they're not rated for doing that, but again, the leather on them. Here's an old pair actually right here now that I think about it. So these here, they work great for, they got leather palms, slide them on, nice and easy. Yeah, these are a little dirty. They're great. I mean, they hold up pretty well. Now, yes, the one problem that I have with these gloves is after you use them and abuse them a lot, they split right here. Every pair I had, they always split on the seams there. So, hey, mechanics wear. If you see these, I'm not throwing up gang signs, guys. I'm just trying to show you that that's split there too. If you guys, if you see this, can you guys like make the stitching a little bit better here, or maybe one piece or something? I don't know, but that's where they always seem to split, is on the fingers. But otherwise, guys, I love these things. Great gloves. So if you want a better review or something, maybe I'll do that again too later. I got like a whole sheet of stuff I want to do reviews on. This was actually on the list. But anyways, so I'll replace the old gloves with some new leather gloves. Next up, let's shoot over to this side here first. So this is like my medics-ish kind of boo-boo side. I got one of these here in the battle box things, so this was just a nice addition to add to it. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit more. This is the medical kit mountain series, 2 people, 2 days, hiker pack. And again, it's sealed up right now because it's brand new, but it's got some wipes, antibiotic stuff, aspirin, ibuprofen, alcohol swab. This here gives you the breakdown of everything in it. But it's just always nice to have these little medic pouches in your vehicle, and sometimes having a couple more than just one is nice, because now if you use something out of it and you forget to replace something in it, you can always go to your next one. So I got that one. This here is just like that ace wrap or whatever, but it sticks to itself. So if you have to do a makeshift band-aid or something like that, at least you have something to get you through. Next up, if you've never been in this shitty situation, you might not understand the importance of keeping a roll of TP in your vehicle. I don't care what anyone says. When you gotta go, you gotta go. And if you're on the side of the road and there's a tree over there, let's just say having some TP is a little bit nicer than having that leaf that you don't know if it's poison ivy or poison oak or what, when it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're driving down the road. Just saying. So TP is always great to have. Then I just carry a wipe, and again, having that hand sanitizer, that would come in handy. But here's just a microfiber towel. Usually I have a little, just them little little garbage bags or whatever they are, like you would see in hotel, little small garbage cans. Also keep just, I think there's 1 or 2 pairs of rubber gloves in here. So keep that stuff all handy. So if you gotta jump out real quick, you can grab this and just go out and do what you gotta do, and you're set. Pray you never need that, but in that emergency, you'll be happy you have that. Alright, next up we just have another little medical pouch here. Here's a another rat's tourniquet. Just a pair of trauma shears, nothing fancy, it's just some cheap ones. But the main reason I keep this is for, again, making your own band-aids. You got some gauze, you got some burn relief, and there's just some other little odds and ends stuff in here. But again, you can carry band-aids with you for little things, you know. I mean, if you're out with your kids, your nephews and nieces, or your cousins, or wherever you're at, and you get a kid that's got, you know, a little boo-boo, you got some band-aids. Or if you're out on a hike and you cut yourself or something, and you have something that's a little bit bigger than a butterfly band-aid or a big patch band-aid that you may or may not have with you, it is nice to be able to make your own band-aids with some gauze, some tape, and whatnot. This way, you know, it's a little bit more versatile that way. You can carry less stuff and cover more things, if that makes sense. Alright, now next up. Remember what I said. I built this bag back in, what? I guess 2017, 16, somewhere right around there. So this was well before the coof hit, right? I've had these in there. I had gold sitting in my truck at one point in time that I never used. Because, you know, I build my immune system and make that strong so I don't have to worry about stuff like that. Anyways, these here are the viral Klein, I don't know the brand name, N95 respirators with antibacterial protection. These are small, medium ones, whatever, but these are nice because they are one per pack, right? They're individually sealed. I don't know if you can see that's the brand name, so like actual medical type grade, like good stuff here. Single use they say, but we all know how that works because apparently a single use mask is good for like 3 months, 5 months, 2 years, whatever people were doing with them. I mean, well, I'm not going to get into that. And who knows nowadays what's coming up, that they're the new hot, wild, crazy fad that might pop up, that, you know, these will be handy again. But anyways, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 of them. I carry 6 of them. Not for stuff like that. I carry these mainly for if something were ever to happen. You know, you're out, you're in a dusty environment. You know, I have bandanas. I have them little gaiters or whatever. But sometimes you need something a little bit stronger than that. Like if you're in a really dusty field and you want something that's going to be a little bit better. It is nice to have these besides what you're told to use them for when, I don't know, I'm just trying to beat around the bush here because you all know what I'm talking about. And then last but not least, I just keep a pack of October of 2018. That's how long these have been in there for. I do keep saying I'm going to replace them. But something I was going to add in there is a pack of these pistachios I just picked up. You know, these are good till like 25, I think it said. 25 or 26. But anyways, pistachios are great. Cashews are good. I don't think nuts go bad, as far as I know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if these are roasted whole cashews, unsalted. Yeah, I think these are just plain old cashews. I don't think there's anything really in them. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know if these things go bad, guys. They're in there. So, and then, like I said, pack of pistachios I'll be adding. Because why not? So that's that pouch there. I'll get this stuff put back in. We'll go to the next one. Alright, so we're going to head over to the far side before we get to the center here. And first up on the far side we have, of course, Paracord. Everybody knows Paracord. If you don't know what Paracord is, and they have so many different kinds of Paracord. There's what, 550, 750, I think there's even 800. You know, there might be more, 1,000. I don't know. I know they have all kinds, and that just determines the thread count and the strength of it. I have it wrapped up on this nice little spool tool. Most of you know what the spool tool is too, with the lighter on there for your ends and stuff like that. But yeah, Paracord, guys, we all know, we all use it. It comes in handy for everything, especially if you own a truck and you tie down stuff. It also has a cutter built into the spool tool. You know, if you don't know what the spool tool is, make sure you get the actual real spool tool. So it's made in USA, spooltool.us, but I'll put a link for the Amazon where I bought it down below. Speaking of Paracord, guys, I mean, you don't need a lot of it in your vehicle all the time. I mean, I think there's like there might be like 25 feet on here or something like that. I do carry 100 foot in the bag just as a backup. So I'm not gonna do like the full review on it, and I know there's thousands of companies out there. Everyone's got the best of the best, but all I have to say for now, until I do something better, Tough Grid, this company, guys, is made in the USA. Right there, baby. That's what I love about this company. And I have personally, at one point in time, talked to, I don't know if it was the owner or who it was. I don't remember exactly what the situation was. I might have ordered something and either got the wrong thing or whatever on Amazon, which was not anything to do with their part. It was nothing to do with them. It was obviously something through Amazon, but I got a hold of them and told them a little bit about like what I was using the Paracord at the time for, and they, for the mistake on Amazon's part, not only did they send me the new stuff, but they sent me like a whole, like, what was it, like a 500 foot roll of it to make up for the problem that I had. These guys here are freaking awesome company to deal with, like to talk to. I have no affiliation with them. I'm going back, you know, probably a few years ago is when this situation happened. So I personally have no affiliation with these guys. They don't know me. They don't, I mean, I don't benefit anything from telling you guys this except for personal experience. I like their stuff. Now I get the 750 most of the time. I have 550 too, I'm sure. But I will only buy their brand because their stuff here just is, I like it. I like supporting small companies, and that's what they are. It's a small company. Atwood's another one. Atwood ropes or something like that. Atwood or whatever. They have a lot of paracord and different kind of ropes and cords and stuff. That's another great company. But this company right here, guys, that link, I'll put that link on the top of my Amazon list of stuff down there, so you guys know if you want to get some good cord, and they're not expensive too. They're fairly reasonable for their paracord, and they got all the different colors and everything too. So check them out, guys. That one right there is another one of them really good products that you just stumble across sometimes, and it's just freaking awesome, right? Like, you just, yes, it's paracord. You can't mess it up too much, but at the same time, USA made, small company, primo stuff. Anyways, so that's that. This here, this was one of the things I threw in there. I guess I can keep it in there. It doesn't hurt to be in there. I don't have a use for it anywhere else. It's this one here is not the Maxpedition one, but it's just like a, what do they call them, a Voyager bag, or I forget what they call them, but it, you know, it's got the McNally on the back here, straps and stuff, so you can put it on your belt or something or whatever. Put some stuff in there if you're gathering, you know, your twigs and berries and nuts, or if you're working in the shop and you want, you know, or if you're working on something, you put your screws and your whatever. It's got some drawstrings on the side so you can tighten it up. I think I might have used this maybe once since I got it. I don't even know where or how I got this. Maybe it came in a battle box. It might be a Condor maybe. I mean, it's nicely built. You know, it's got a nice little like leather pull right there. Double stitched all the way around. I mean, the Velcro on it's real nice and strong. So it's a pretty decent quality little bag. Just no label on it, but yeah, like I said, I don't know. It's got a drainage hole on the bottom of it. So if you're putting something that's wet in there or damp or something. One thing I did see someone do with one of these once, which was kind of cool, is they put their paracord through, and they pulled the paracord through the bottom, and this way they can just pull the paracord as they wanted, and then you know, we all carry a knife on us, so you're able just to pull it, cut it, and it kept all the paracord in there. I don't know if the paracord was on a spool. I don't know how they kept it from getting all tangled up, but it was something kind of cool that they used it for. So that's in there too. Next up, here's some trash bags. These are just your, what, 13-gallon, you know, normal household ones. These here are your, I think I got 2 or 3 of the household ones, and maybe 2 of the, it's either the 45 or 55-gallon drum, but the heavy mill black plastic bags, which come in handy for all kinds of stuff. I mean, just, you know, if you own a pickup truck and you don't have a tarp, you can cut it open and drape something, you know, cover something up. So garbage bags are just nice to have. Next up we have emergency blanket. Always keep at least a minimum of one of these in your vehicle. I don't care if you live in the city, if you live in the country, if you're in the desert, in the mountains, or wherever you live. If you own a vehicle, you should always at least carry one of these. Right now it's winter time, you know, it's right after New Year, so it's cold here in Illinois. It's snowing. If you break down, if you have a vehicle that you lose heat and it get real cold at night, at least if you have one of these in your vehicle, nothing else, it will help you stay warm for the night or so, you know. They're waterproof, windproof. It's a quiet material. This is the SOL emergency blanket. Definitely worth keeping this in your vehicle. I keep blankets in there, and I have other stuff to keep me warm as well, but again, that's just something nice to have. Next up, here's one that most people will be like, why do you carry something like that? These are your chem lights, right? Your little glow in the dark, break them, little lights or whatever. I think these ones here, there's just more of them in here. These ones here I think were red, white, and maybe blue ones, so it might have been like a red, white, blue. 4th of July came around and somebody had a sale on these for, I think it was like $1. It might be like, I don't know, 10, 12 of them in here. In here there might be like, I don't know, 24, something like that in here, maybe 30 of them. But these are just the small ones, nothing big. You know, I didn't get the big ones. Again, got them on sale. These are just nice to have. You know, you don't always have to use them just to light up your way through a forest or something like that if you get lost. I mean, we all have, you know, nieces, nephews, cousins, little kids, friends' kids, something like that. You guys are out at a barbecue or something like that, and hey, you can hand these out to the kids. They're not expensive, you know. You can go to local stores and like dollar store, stuff like that, buy them. I'll still put a link down below for some I found on Amazon, but yeah, these are just always nice to have, and you can use them for emergency situations as well. Signaling, you know, all kinds of stuff. We've all seen all the videos of people doing different things with them. So that's just another thing. Next up, so this is kind of like, actually I just replaced this bundle here, but these here are just zip ties. Use zip ties for everything, right? You know, yeah, I mean, never have too many zip ties, duct tape, certain things, paracord, some things you just can never have too much of. These here are, I forget, I don't know the rating on them or whatever, but it's the black ones, so we know it's the good ones. These here are just a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. I think these are 24-inch ones. You know, I got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here. Just roll them up, and you can always use these. I'm not going to tell you what these are good for, but I'm sure you can figure out some good uses for these bigger ones. And last but not least in here, I have another Maxpedition pouch. Of course, anybody that's a survivor person, prepper, if you're into going out and camping and surviving and stuff like that, we all know you're not official so you have your fire starting kit. Gotta have it, guys. Gotta have them. I'm not going to get into everything that's in here, but you know, you got your waterproof matches. What else we got? You know, a little knife for, again, that's the what, 1, 2, third knife that I have in this pouch. You know, there's just some things it's just nice to have multiples of. Plus I carry a knife on me. Plus I got my Leatherman that's on me. I got plenty of knives, right? This here is just what we got here. Exotech, the little for flint. And then you have your ferro rod, which I got kind of wrapped up in there real nice, but you can kind of see, you know, knife. I got some fuel up there, nice big ferro rod. Then we got some cotton ball swabs. I got a lighter, and here's a little trick, guys, with your lighters. If you've never seen this before, take a rubber band, take a hair tie or something like that. You put it underneath the gas. This way, you're not pushing that. You're not losing all your gas when you store your lighters and things. So yeah, so that's that. Nice to have. Again, this here is just one of the small Maxpedition pouches. I forget which one this one is, but it works great for that. Actually, if you're going to build a fire kit, I would highly recommend getting these little Maxpedition ones because they do hold a lot. And I mean, they're just, you know, YKK zippers, water resistant. So if it is raining out and you do, you know, pull this thing out or whatever, and you're closing, open and closing, whatever, at least it's going to keep most of the water out of your fire kit. So that's it on the far side here. Put this back in and we'll get to the middle here. Alright, so now we're on to the big main middle part here, and we'll finish off the bag in the middle here. So let's see what we got. First up, we have, this here is one of them, kind of like the military rain poncho, where it, you know, you can unbutton it, make it like a big tarp almost, like if you want to make a shelter out of it or something. You know, here's the hood part of it. Never really used it. It was just one of them things where it's kind of I guess this would fall under your get home bag situation, where if you wanted to make a shelter, this with the paracord, you could kind of make something if you were walking home, and if you're out in the woods or whatever, you know, you could use it, or just use it as a rain poncho. If you're walking home in the rain, you could throw this over your bag or something like that. Why is it flashing? Oh man. You can throw this over your bag, cover it all up, and you're good to go. I need to replace my battery again. Hang on. Next up, we have, here you go. This here is the SOL Escape Bivy. So this here is just pretty much a bigger version of the emergency space blankets. I'm sure most of you guys know what the Escape Bivvies are. Just another good thing. It's small, compactable, could come in handy, could, you know, be great. Hey, again, it's the same thing with the emergency blanket. You pull up on an accident, a car accident, it's raining, it's cold out, anything like that. These are things that, in a situation like that, you just pull it out, keep someone warm, keep someone comfortable, keep them dry. If you pull up on somebody sitting on the side of the road or something like that, you know, in the middle of winter time, their car breaks down and they don't want to ride, they're waiting for someone, but it's cold and they don't know how long. These things are, you know, they're not cheap, but they're cheap enough that if you want to be a good Samaritan, you want to help somebody out and they don't want to, you know, feel safe or comfortable getting in your vehicle, or they don't want to leave their vehicle because someone's on the way. This is stuff that you can just, here, stay warm, and, you know, it's good to use. So that's just another, here's one of them things where I will be replacing. So this is just your little, you know, fork, spoon, what do you call, bottle opener. It's got a little knife on it, right? You know, a little camping system here. They come apart, so you know your fork and your spoon are separate or whatever. Yeah, so someone gave me this once before, as a little camping set or whatever. But just so happens in one of the most recent battle boxes, we got a nice little camp set. You know, this is the Echo Vessel Wanderware 5-piece stainless steel utensil set. So I figure I can replace that now. Actually, I forgot I had that one in there. So this here, nice. It's black stainless steel. I don't know if you guys can see them. I don't know if these things are good long term. I just got them, but I figure it's a good little kit to throw in the truck. Fork, knife, spoon, straw, and a straw brush cleaner, right? So nice. It zips up, keep it in there, so that works. And the reason I have this is because I got me a nice little cook set in here, right? Got a lid, got a nice little container, and a cup. Or you can boil, you know, water with this here. This one here is what, it's 25 ounce, 700 milliliter thing, and then you got a little grabber in there to hold it, pick it up. But these are nice because, you know, again, this is something I haven't used yet out of this bag, but if it goes along with the, you know, prepping side, get home bag side. So in an emergency, I have a way to boil water, right? And speaking of water, we have a life straw, you know. Just again, yes, it's an emergency bag. Yes, the stuff I have in this bag is going to be used for, I want it to be something that I can use whenever. It doesn't have to be just to get home. But at the same time, you know, it is nice to have stuff if you break down and have to go a longer period of time waiting somewhere, or there are zombies coming and the apocalypse is here and a nuke went off and the cities are down and grid down situations and stuff. Yeah, do I need to? You just want to get home as soon as possible at that point, right? Anything like that, your goal, if you're 30 miles from home, you're not going to stop, cook a snack, you know. No, you're going to grab a Cliff Bar and you're going to eat while you're walking. You know, you're not going to stop and build a shelter and all this stuff. You're not hiking a far distance. I mean, you are. It might take you a few hours, don't get me wrong. But, you know, again, I live in an area where it's pretty urban. It's not like, you know, farm fields or forests for miles and miles every direction, or mountains or a desert. But again, I do go on road trips, so it's a possibility I can end up in them areas. So anyways, life straw, never hurts to have it. If you guys do keep these containers, like this one here, just another stainless steel. This one was through Battle Box, obviously. make sure it is a single wall. You don't want double wall for boiling because it could explode and you can have any kind of problems or whatever with them. Plus, you most likely won't boil your water because the whole purpose of them are to keep things hot and cold and insulated, right? So that's that stuff. What I do not see in here that I used to have in here is I used to have a little jet boil stove type thing. I used to have one of them. So I don't know if I took that out at one point. Again, that's why I like to go through my gear once a year, see what I'm missing. So I will have to get a new one or a new. I know where I have two other ones, but in different areas. So yeah, or some way to warm water up. So whether it's a little pocket stove or something, I gotta get something to put in here and replace. So that is something I'm missing. And obviously you do need to have some kind of food. Again, if you are spending a night, if you do get stranded and on a road trip in the mountains or desert, the whole spiel again, at least you will have one meal for yourself, or if you're with someone, you could share it, or you can say, hey, you're at so well because I brought this bag, not you. So that's up to you. But anyways, just some Mountain House fettuccine Alfredo chicken. It's a pretty good one. Next up we have, speaking of the water situation, this here was a water purification. This is the Rapid, the Rapid Pure. I can't speak today. This here is the Rapid Pure water purification. And in here we have our filter, brand new little filter here. We have a hose, so instructions, and a hose that's kinked, so there it is. And last but not least, we have in here, come on, some portable aqua tabs. So in theory, I have 1, 2, that makes 3, and that makes 4 different ways to purify water, and realistically it doesn't take up very much room. So again, you go on a day hike, anything like that, it doesn't necessarily have to be that it's the end of the world, that zombies are coming after and all this stuff. Like, there are ways, or there are other situations where you could want to make some water. You come across a stream or something like that, and these things here are just pretty fast, easy. Fill up your container, drop these things in there. Like if you got some fresh rolling water type thing, you can use the purification tabs, which we all know what they are. So we'll get that back in there, and it just all kind of fits in this little pouch. Instructions for the Rapid Pure, and this stuff here I like to keep it in the bag it came in, just because it's another way of keeping this thing dry. Next up, just another microfiber. I mean, I got plenty of these things in my truck, but for cleaning the kit or something like that, we have a nice bandana. We all know there's a million uses for a bandana. It's just like paracord. You can use it for all kinds of stuff. This one here is odd and as random as this might be. And people will be like, well, why would you have that in there? Actually, I have used this a couple times now. This here is the Vortex Solo monocular. Yeah, monocular. Single. This is a 8x25 monocular. Comes in the pouch. I got it all wrapped up right now. So, what did I use this for? Well, when snowmobiling, we were up in the UP, and it was pretty cool to pop this thing out and check out the eagle's nest and stuff. And and you see like how they built them, and check out the birds, the eagles that were up in the nest, and it was just kind of cool just to pull this thing out and see across the lake that we were on and whatnot. So yeah, is it a life-saving thing? No. Is it something you're going to use all the time? No. Is it something that at that right time in history where you're like, oh man, I wish I could see that bird's nest or whatever you want to do with it, you know, or if you are stranded and you want to see, hey, is it worth going this way? Is it worth going that way? You can get a distance. But no, it was pretty cool to pull this thing out, check out the eagle's nest, and you know, just kind of scope things out like that. So that's what that would come in handy for. And then last but not least, I just have a t-shirt in here. This just says Fire Rescue on it. I might have got this one from a family member that's a firefighter or something. I did go through EMT school, so maybe I got this one when I was in EMT school or something. But yeah, just really it's just a t-shirt to have. It just happens to say Fire Rescue on it, so whatever. Alright, get this stuff all put back in. Alright guys, so that was that's my emergency truck bag, right? My get home bag, my 24-hour bag, all the names out there that they have. Call it what you want, as long as you do one thing. Make sure you build it to use it, right? You can add some stuff in there, like you've seen a few items I have that I haven't used, some things that you know you might never use, but it's not like they're taking up too much room. I didn't go overboard. This bag can hold way more. I want to keep it somewhat, you know, on the lighter-ish side if I do have to carry it or something like that. 27 pounds. You can see it does have, it's got straps on the back so you can carry it like a book bag. It has two. I just only have the one put out, and the other one's folded up on the inside there. So yeah, I like to go through this stuff, like I said earlier, once a year. See what I need to replace, see what's, you know, maybe I want to update something or upgrade it or just get rid of it because I really don't need it. You could do something like I said, charge your flashlight. This one here now is charged. So charge your flashlights up, make sure everything is good to go. And one thing with flashlights, guys, so this one here is now charged, no. But what I like to do to actually help save the batteries is turn it on, turn it on, and then just unscrew the back a little bit so it shuts itself off, and now you can't accidentally turn it on in your pack. Just remember you do that though with your flashlights, because you'll go to grab this flashlight and think it's dead and it won't be. But anyway, so yeah, so that's that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to get my other bag that I take from vehicle to vehicle. I'll make that video shortly today and get that posted for you guys. But yeah, happy 2024, guys. If there's anything that you guys want to see more of a review on or know a little bit more about, let me know. If you carry a emergency truck bag or a get home bag or something like that, tell me what I don't have in here that might be useful. Something that I didn't think of or don't have or whatever. Let me know down below. Otherwise, I think that's about it, guys. So, you know, there's one more thing. Remember, guys, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Until next time.